My name is Aubrey Riley.
And my name's Eric Pringle. Aubrey's my niece.
And we've experienced Umatilla Cemetery.
So there's a lot of folklore about the Umatilla Cemetery, and I want to ask you guys, what have you experienced growing up here in Umatilla? I know that Aubrey came here quite a few times as a teenager. What did you feel, what did you experience when you came here?
Well, a lot of times, I think the first couple times I came with my uncle and my dad and the family, and we would go on both sides of the cemetery, on the lake side and this side, and not so much happened over there as much as when we would come over here. It was really like an uneasy feeling. It wasn't really something that was comfortable. One time we had been on the lake side, and I remember it was the funniest thing. My uncle comes running up the hill like a woman, like screaming that there was a man in overalls that he saw down at the bottom of the hill, right?
Yep.
And so that was one incident that had happened over there. Now over here, I've had a lot of things happen since I had gone with him. I don't know if I remember anything happening with him, except for the batteries would always die on his camera when we would come out here to take pictures or video or anything like that. But we've heard screaming in the orange groves, and my girlfriend and I, Amber, we sat on one of the graves over there, and we sat down and felt a thump underneath us. Nobody believes us, but we felt it, and we both felt it. And we've heard screaming. It's just a very uneasy feeling when you're in here. Like, it's never comfortable.
And we noticed a lot of times when you take a picture, like when we would use a camera with flash, we noticed that you would see something out of the corner of your eyes. We had a friend of mine, Derek, that would come out too, and he had some really good camera equipment, and he'd bring it out and we'd take pictures, and when the flash would go off, you'd see something out of the corner of your eye. We took a lot of pictures around in that area.
With our hands up and stuff.
And one on the picture, my friend Derek, he's like 6'4", and he had his arms out like this. He goes, I kind of feel like I saw something right here when the flash went off. And when we got home and we looked at the pictures that were being taken of him while he was saying that, there was an orb that filled up his entire
right in the middle of his arms.
In the middle of his hand. And it was a reddish color, which was kind of odd.
It was a weird color.
And then the other really cool one was, you know, I've always heard that orbs are like dust particles or something along that line. And taking the picture, you know, we were a good probably maybe 10 to 20 feet away from the tree, and there were some palm fronds in front of it. And the orb actually in the picture was setting behind the palm frond. It was actually, it was in front of the orb itself. And something to me, and the orb was about that big around in the distance. So I wouldn't think it was a dust particle, you know, being behind the palm frond.
That could be possible.
What about some of the stories behind some of the supernatural, you know, sightings and feelings that people have had out here in the cemetery?
Well, I heard a story, I don't know if it's true, that a woman was killed in the orange groves. I'm not sure if that's true, but I heard that, and we've heard, myself and my brother and our friends have heard screaming in the orange groves. Now, I don't know if it was a coincidence, if it was a close house that somebody was just, you know, messing around, but it didn't sound like a fun screaming. It sounded like an eerie, like scream. So that, I know that was a story that I had heard. That was like a rumor, but I don't know anything about the guy in overalls. I don't know. Do you know any other stories?
I don't know anything about the guy in overalls. I know we saw him, and we saw him on that side, and it was kind of a bizarre. It could have been somebody from a house, I guess.
There wasn't any houses.
And so when we saw him, you know, it was kind of an unnerving, you know, we kind of raised our hand. He didn't wait. He just kind of was watching us. And he had, you know, the old style dungaree overall type things on. And he just sat there. He just sat there watching us and never really moved. We, you know, tried to be pleasant initially. And then after that, we were like, okay, you know, maybe we should just move on. But he was standing back into the woods. So it wasn't like he was just standing around looking at a tombstone. He was actually standing off into the woods, which was kind of bizarre, we thought. But, you know, we could have been kind of freaked out just being out here to begin with, and the stuff that we had seen. So when we first had come out here and we experienced, you know, an uneasy feeling, and we had noticed some orbs with our photographs and things like that, we started looking around on the internet to see if there were any other things about this area, and we found that apparently it's ranked in like pretty high in the top 100 most haunted places in the United States. It was like, wow, I didn't even know it. You know, it's right here near the house. So then we found out that apparently a paranormal group had come out here, and they had brought out some equipment with them, from what we read online. And they had said that they had gotten some EVPs, and apparently and I actually heard it. I mean, we heard it. We listened to it online, and they have them out there. So I mean, you could look them up. But they had this little girl on it, and they caught her multiple times. And she was at one point she said, "Help me," and then you could hear screams.
Wasn't there one, and it was like a deep voice, and it said like "Get out" or
yes,
"Go
there was
away"
one
or
that
something
said,
weird?
"Yeah, get out," and you could hear
Scary.
it. It was really plain. Yeah, thanks. I forgot about that one. But it was really plain to hear, and we were so surprised when we started looking into it, because there was a lot of stuff about this. And there's another area down the street from here called Stana's, and it's an old hotel. And then when we started looking about the cemetery here, we found out that Stana's is also a really haunted place, and it's in Umatilla too. So I mean, we started really getting interested in all the haunted areas in this area. Even wandering out here at night, and you hear things, you know, some of it I'm sure could be your imagination, but I mean, you would literally hear things, you know, while you're out here, and you'd see things when you're taking pictures with the camera. Like I said, you'd see things in the distance, or out of the corner of your eye, you'd catch it. And I'd really like to follow up on that. But after coming here and seeing some of that, I can't really explain the whole orb behind the tree. I can't explain that, you know. I mean, that's at a distance. It can't be a dust particle. Right. I can't explain the voices that I heard on the EVP thing, you know, that we listened to that came from here. I don't know what the guy was in the overalls. You know, I've lived around here for a long time, since '92. And, you know, I mean, jogging out here in the daytime, you know, it's a really nice place to be. Umatilla is a great place to be. And there's not really, you know, a lot negative going on. So, I don't know. To me, it was more, I want to see if there's really something there.
Now, as the sun is starting to set in just an hour or so, we are actually going to have some paranormal experts here, and you guys are welcome to stay to see what they actually hear and see.
I would love to. Yeah.
Excellent.
We'll be here. That sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's 8:30 Sunday night, and I'm here with the investigators, and we're about to go into the cemetery. So, guys, what do we do now?
Say a prayer.
Say a prayer.
Father God, thank you for bringing us together tonight. We ask that you bring your positive angels all around us, stay with us, keep us safe. And as we leave here tonight, Father, please don't allow anything to follow us home, attach itself to us in any way, shape, or form. In Jesus' precious name, I
pray. We have William, aka Gizmo. He's the team founder. We have Michael. He is an investigator. We have Jerry, he's technical. We have myself as the team manager, Jeff. We have Ian, the rookie. He's an investigator, and it's all of us going out, making these things happen.
This is electromagnetic field,
just stay close.
And it's gonna pick up, there's a theory out there that the entities can make changes in the electromagnetic field. This instrument helps us pick up on that. Now, what we do is we go around the area first to pick up like a basic reading if possible. I don't think we got electrical current running on the floor or the ground here or nothing like that. But sometimes, depending on the area, if you get significant readings here, it means that you could be an entity could be next to you. And from then on, you try to communicate.
Now, this is the Ovilus. This can, they say that paranormal can speak through this. It has a heat sensor where actually when I turn it on, we'll see that the lights and the color, the colors will change as something hot or cold comes close to it.
It's different, have different modes on it.
Let's see, this works off temperature, so right now everything's warm, but if we see it cooler, and when it turns blue, see blue, then it's cold. Usually if there's something cold, then it's paranormal.
I am scared of ghosts. I'm very scared of ghosts.
Yeah, it's a normal camcorder with an infrared LED array that broadens the spectrum that the camcorder can record. It can record better at night and under limited light circumstances.
That's really cool.
Okay.
And if you guys want to walk in there, I think we'll have less traffic noise and everything else. So we need some flashlights. Hey, Gizmo, you got the flashlights?
Yeah, I got more. Yeah.
You got one? Two?
Anyone?
Oh, I think we're gonna need three. Let's like go like
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Right over here?
Yeah, over about 30 yards.
Oh.
Right here? These old ones? Are we here alone? To be here? I always like to say, hey, you know, we're here to visit with you guys tonight. We won't be here long. We don't mean you any disrespect. First and foremost, thank you for having us. Again, we don't mean any disrespect, none whatsoever. So, Gizmo is going to do a EVP session. Electronic voice phenomenon, right?
Yes. There's a theory out there, and through the years we have been able to prove it's right. There's some sounds, some voices that you're not going to be picking up with your own ears. Now, however, the voice recorder is sensitive enough to pick it up. So what we do is, especially when we do residential investigations, is we try to make contact if there's a possibility of an entity in the area. And we try to make contact and see if we can get a name, sometimes a year, or there's a reason that it didn't cross over, that it's still hanging around. And we like to know if there's any way that we can help. Sometimes an entity may wish recognition. Maybe there's a tomb out there with no name, and maybe just a plate on a tree would be enough for it to rest in peace. So that's what we do. That being said, we're going to start with an EVP session in this area. Good evening, this is Gizmo from the Beyond Investigators, and we're here visiting tonight. Respectfully, we come from far away, and we would like to know if there's if it's okay that we're here tonight, and would you like to make friends with us, and if possible, tell us your name. When you ask for your name, you have to wait a minute because they need to gather energy before they answer you. So may I have your name, please? Is it okay that we're visiting here tonight? Is it okay with you? Okay, that's Mike moving around me. That's another thing that you have to do when you're taking an EVP session. Somebody from your crew moves around you or says something or does something or kind of noise, you stamp it. So when you go back to the recording, you don't think that's paranormal. In this case, Mike is walking next to me and I can feel his steps on the grass. And I know the recording is picking it up.
What were you hearing? You were hearing claps? Is that what you were hearing? Like, is that what everybody else heard? You didn't hear it?
When we were first coming down the road, I heard he was talking, Gizmo was talking, and off to our right, which was right where she said, I heard a thud on the ground. And I actually thought maybe there was one of your group out here already. That's why I didn't say anything.
See, I love being out here in the dark. I do. It's just weird. Hmm? Really good, maybe if you left your host out here by herself.
No,
That's not funny.
And then you never know what could happen, right?
No. Let's not do that.
Just thank you, Aubrey.
I'll stay with you.
Okay.
Okay, we'll leave the two of them out here by themselves.
We're all hearing a thump over here by the Civil War tombstones.
Yeah, we just started again.
We've come in peace, and we would like to know if we're here alone. And You can speak through the ovilus if you'd like. You can change the colors, the blue and red, pretty colors. If you want to suck some juice out of it, that's fine. Just speak through it and let us know what you're doing, how you're feeling. Are you angry? Do you miss somebody? You know, we're here in peace and not to definitely disturb anything or anybody here. Just feel free to speak through it. But tonight the ovilus has been very quiet, which is odd. Sometimes it speaks and speaks and speaks, and once in a blue moon it's quiet.
So the colors change though.
Yeah.
Sometimes the breeze will do that. You get the cooler breeze on it. So you got to kind of...
You have to be patient and start again. All right.
It said highway. So with that, you can take it.
And it changed to red.
For what it's worth. I mean, does it mean somebody worked on the highway here, or does it mean that the highway's over there? You know, you kind of got to play into it with your own imagination.
We went to Hillcrest Cemetery, and there's an area there for the military. Now, with the ovilus stand, this is what happens. If he's saying like dog, cat, table, lamp, it's random. Now, we went in that military part of the cemetery, and I had an ovilus with me, and he started saying sergeant, captain, major, or private,
Can we
war.
go back to did that device say highway?
It said highway.
It's that way.
So
what happens is what it's saying at the time is related to where you are and what you're doing. It is possible that you make contact. If not, it's going to be random. It's going to be random of picking up from the ambience. And so then you know you got nothing that is paranormal.
When I was walking just past the oak tree over here is where I got that feeling of the cobwebs on my face.
Yeah.
And he's saying that's where they seem to feel and get a lot of everything. You guys want to try that one more time? Or?
Off on this side is where we always would see them.
okay. Where were you when you took those pictures at?
Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, the Beyond investigators and our crew are heading over to explore the haunts of the historic Collins Building in Umatilla, Florida. We'll be right back.